He's tapping out like a wrestler, like, oh, I give up, I give up. Hello, 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 and I got an insane tech for you guys to dominate the meta with. That's right, Yubel, Tenpai, Snake-Eyes, dominating the ladders in MasterDuel right now especially, but also in the TCG as well. And I've got the savior for us, especially everybody's talking about Tenpai, Tenpai, Tenpai. I told you this would be coming with my going second videos, how strong that's going to be. But anyways, this card right here is going to be the savior of it. What is this card? What? I've never seen something like this. Well, this is Guardian Slime right here. And for those of you that don't know what it does, take a look at this guy's effects. I'm going to break it down. He's got 3 different effects while you read what it does. The first effect it does is it special summons himself when he takes damage. Now, that's not really that crazy, especially when we're talking about Yubel and Tenpai. That's about a C average effect that it does. That's pretty cool. It's got a lot of other effects here. When it battles, it gains defense for the first time that's equal to the opponent's attack. Very, very interesting. You can see right here, you can make this card gain attack equal to the opponent's monster's attack during that damage calculation only. So yeah, that's during damage calculation for battles, quick effect. Yeah, that's not that good either. That's a D effect. They're great. That saves you from 1 attack. Interesting, interesting. But here's where the meat and the juice and potatoes is. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you get to search for a card that lists the Winged Dragon of Ra in it. And that's a B effect because the cards that we're searching is very powerful, but it's got to be sent from the hand or the field to the graveyard. And that's a little tricky to do, but we'll go over on how to make to do that easily. But first, let's go over the key card we're going to be searching with that effect. That's the True Sun God. Take a look at this card right here. This card is great. And also similarly to the Guardian Slime there, it's got 3 effects too that I really want to highlight. First of all, it's going to add a card, a Ra card or a card that mentions it. And that's an A effect because there's 2 cards really that we're going to be in consideration to adding, but we'll go over that later. But that's really good. Here's the big one, and here's why it counters Tenpai. Because you guys were thinking, how did those first cards affect counter Tenpai? How does it counter Yubel? No. Special summoned monsters cannot attack the same turn that they're special summoned. Take a look at this. And monsters except Winged Dragon of Ra cannot attack the turn they're special summoned. That's the juicy that we're talking about. That's an S tier effect against Tenpai because then now they can't attack in the battle phase and they're affected by it because this is a lingering effect. They're not affected by activated effects in the main phase with the first with the field spell, but also in the battle phase it's affecting them too, even if they have the big guy, because it's a lingering effect here. And it sends a Rock card to the graveyard. Now that is a D- effect. Not really that interesting at all. The only reason why it's a D- and not an F is because it adds more clutter to this card's text. Look at all this card text. So because it's adding clutter, it's sandwiching this nice hidden effect between text. So it gets a D- because it's just adding text right here, and it's hiding the good effect because when people are trying to read fast, they skip over that effect. Anyways, let's continue. The cards that we're adding, it says, remember I said you add a Ra card? Well, a lot of people want to add either like the Immortal Phoenix or Winged Dragon of Ra. No. Sphere mode is what you're adding. Remember, we're looking to counter both meta. We're looking to counter only meta, really. And unfortunately, the Winged Dragon of Ra cards, while it's fun to be memeable, will not counter the meta. However, decks like Snake-Eyes and Yubel that special summons a lot and floods the boards. Sphere mode, if you don't know what it does, you can tribute 3 of your opponent's monsters, like a Kaiju. You have to give up your normal summon too, so this isn't going to be able to go in all decks. But you tribute 3 of your opponent's monsters. That's why it's so good against Snake-Eye. That's why it's good against Yubel. But if you're going against the Tenpai and stuff, remember, that lingering effect of the True Sun God is what you're looking for. And see how this card kind of got it all. So if you're going against Tenpai, you won't even need to get the effects of that card, right? If you're searching with True Sun God, you won't need to add Sphere mode. You could just add another Guardian Slime. Guardian Slime searches True Sun God. True Sun God searches Guardian Slime. They search each other. They are very symbiotic. They live in a symbiotic relationship. And not only that, if we are able to special summon Guardian Slime, when it goes to the graveyard, we know it searches, but how do we get it to the graveyard, right? Well, it solves the problem itself. It evolves itself into Egyptian God Slime if you have it on the field. Look at this. Take a look at this. Must first be either fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by attributing a level 10 Aqua Monster with 0 attack. Well, Guardian Slime is a level 10 Aqua Monster with 0 attack. So you could just, if you have Guardian Slime on the field, you could just slap Egyptian God Slime right on top of that, tribute that guy. That's how you do it. Very, very strong. Now take a look at this. Egyptian God Slime also has 3 effects. It can be used for 1 or 3 tributes. Absolutely awful effect. It gets a D-. The only reason why, I guess it's there for the memes if you're using those rock cards. And again, it clutters up space, so I kind of like that. So that's why it gets a D- and not an F, because it makes my opponent have to read some useless information. It makes them think that the card's more whack than it is. It cannot be destroyed by battle. Interesting. Okay, that could be partially interesting. A C, I guess. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it can't be destroyed by battle. And the opponent must target the Egyptian God Slime with their monster effects. The monster effects, so if you have a bunch of monsters on the board, which I'll show you different like engines that go really well with this, they're gonna have to target the Egyptian God Slime. And I have some replays to show you too of people getting utterly tricked by it because, again, this text is hidden. So it's a good B+ effect. Very, very good. Not like crazy, but oh, it's good. So that Egyptian God Slime right there is very, very good to have also. But I was talking about engines that this card's going to go in that we're going to use to, again, we're going to have to fight meta. So we're fighting Tenpai, Yubel, Snake-Eyes, plus whatever else is meta, right? These engines I found are very, very good for the Egyptian Slime engine I just told you. Why? Because these engines all do 2 things that are really important. The first thing is that they all discard. They have some kind of discard mechanism in their engine built in to discard that Egyptian God Slime to the graveyard if it's in your hand. The second thing they do is they don't normal summon. None of these engines normal summon. So if you're going for the sphere mode play, right? If you're going against Snake-Eyes or something like that, sphere mode, you don't want to be playing normal engines. So these 4 engines right here are perfect for, remember, they will discard and they don't use their normal summon. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. I lost my train of thought. Because also, we're going to need some maybe other discard cards. And if you don't want to, if you need to fill your deck more with like different stuff, you can also run these kind of cards that are great. Like, I love these going second. This is kind of like a going second engine too that I've personally been running. I love the going second engine. I've talked many times about why we should go second. In fact, I'll put a link to that up there if you need to see it. But take a look at these. All of these cards also discard and promote or promote special summoning. Again, very, very interesting. Oh, and if you can't see this card right here, this card just lets you send cards that equal level 10 to the graveyard from face up or field, draw 2. All right, pretty interesting. You might want to run something like that if you're running a level 10 engine or something. So, let's dive into the stats and statistics of the odds to see the true sun god. You know, I'm a very statistics person. This is a statistics channel too, baby. We gotta go into the stats to see our odds, right? So we're gonna run 3 slime, 3 sun god in our decks. And we gotta see if we're running a 40 card deck or a 60 card deck or somewhere in between. Now, if we're running a 60 card deck, our to see true sun god going first is only 42%. While if we're going second, it increases to 48%. Similarly, at a 40 card deck, we have more than half to see it going first and a really good chance to see a 65% chance to see it going second. Really, really interesting. Just wanted to show those numbers. But how about let's see it in action? Let me show you some examples of how the true sun god is actually insane and the Egyptian slime god. All right, here we go. So I went first here. I actually wanted to go second, funny enough. I was just in muscle memory. I clicked first by accident, but that's okay. We're going to add this ball with the true sun god because I already have a guardian slime. Now I'm going to go into water enchantress. Funny enough, he did save the ash blossom. I did true sun gun first to bait the ash blossom. Now I can't get my negate playing going because I do like the adventure engine with this, but it's fine. because the Adventure Engine can also pitch a Guardian Slime too, but I still have Maxi, so I felt pretty good here. We're playing against Tenpai. That's fine. This is perfect. This is what it's all about, baby. This is just showing you, look, I have Maxi, by the way, and it's not going to matter because he's got Crossout Designator, but it's not about that. It's all about the true Sun God and how getting the true Sun God will counter anything Tenpai does, because I can't do anything here. Because this Sengen summoning makes it so that all of his Fire Dragon monsters are unaffected by my opponent's activated effects. But this is all really I have, because they're going to be unaffected during the main phase 1 versus this. Now, here's something funny. He's only able to attack with the normal summon monsters. He can't attack with monsters the turn they are special summoned. So he's literally sitting here for so long wondering why he couldn't attack. He literally sat there for about 3 minutes. I'm going to summon Guardian Slime. That's pretty good. And he can't attack me anyways. Gets me a free Guardian Slime. Remember, I could turn that into the evolved form next turn. And he can't attack. Literally, anything he special summons, he can't do anything with it. So, what's he going to do here? Well, he's going to go into this Blade Dragon here. And by the way, he's sitting for another 2 minutes, wondering why he can't attack me. I don't know why. He destroys my Guardian Slime, but I just get to add the True Sun God to my hand. I have a Nibiru for him too, and he can't do nothing. He can't do nothing. That's the power of the True Sun God. And I was going to Nibiru him. I had plays. I was going to get my Guardian Slime back. All right, here we go. I'm going second. That's fine. I'm playing the go second deck. That's how I built it. I have Guardian Slime, Alpha Master of Beast, Diablo Star. Great going second hand, by the way. And I'm going against Blackwing, so we're going to be here for a while. So let's just fast forward this, and I'll fast forward it into editing. Insanely hard board to break. So, oh, and he's just hitting me too. So, again, what does he have? 2 unaffected cards, a negate, a SP Little Knight, and by the way, these cards also do other deadly stuff too, like in this turn if he's got stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with Super Polymerization here, right? So I had a lot of options here. The reason why I'm starting with this is because I want to bait some stuff out, and I want to make a chain block so I can block some stuff. So I'm going to take care of the Disc Patter and the SP Little Knight right now. And I'm going to chain block here so I can use my Guardian Slime to add a card, because this guy took longer than necessary. Now I'm going to assert dominance by flashing a card that has higher attack than him. So he spent all that time making something, and I'm like, look, I could just make something even better. I'm also going to copy this card's effect for no reason, just to bait something out maybe. Special summon my Alpha Master Beats now, because I could. Now, when this card gets destroyed, I have the option to destroy all my opponent's special summon monsters. Now, I know these 2 cards aren't going to get destroyed. I have the option to kill Blackwing, but I don't want to, because I know I have that True Sun God, and that's going to get me the I want to tribute 3 cards. So, I'm going to choose not to destroy his cards, get the True Sun God, tribute all of his monsters, and then Alpha Master of Beast combo so well with this deck because I get to bring back my Ball of Fire, and now I get to do Diablo Star plays, get my negate. I'll be able to do Faithful Adventure plays, get a second negate up, and look at that, a quick reversal has just been made, and he taps out, of course, because he can't take the heat. He's tapping out like a wrestler, like, oh, I give up, I give up. All right, so a lot of people ask or say, Jesse, your deck is very good, but it looks like, and I'm going second by this to go second deck, remember, how good is it in the grind game, right? My deck, they're like, can the deck grind? And that's what I want to show you. And what better way to show you if a deck can grind by going against one of the most grinding decks in the game, Sky Striker. Let me just show you how a good Go Second deck should be built. It should be built to grind. Not all of these, like, I don't like these, like, OTK kind of grind decks. Not really my style. And I'm going to show you against Sky Striker that also max saves me, by the way. But remember, we don't special summon that much. We're going to go into a grind game. I'm going to pop 2 of his cards, or so I thought, with Harpy's Feather Duster. No, he's going to combo Linkage here to get some of his value back. So I'm only going to pop really 1 of his cards. He's going to get to use Kagari to get his Sky Striker mobilized back, which is again going to get him more and more advantage. Very, very good. So I only was able really there to pop his Infinite Impermanence. All right, so now I will special summon a bit under Max C. That's the worst to special summon, especially against a control deck. So I'm putting myself in trouble here by doing this. But it's all right. I'll get some cards here. I'll get a negate. The Adventure Engine, again, gets you a negate. So now I have a negate on the field with the Wandering Griffin. And now I can also bring back a card to the hand. I'm going to bring back this. He's going to try to negate something. He's going to negate my Wandering Griffin. And I say, okay, that's fine, but what are you going to do with that? Of course, because I sent that out, though, that makes his Ray come back. And he's going to pop that, send that to the graveyard, get to bring back one of his cards. I can't do anything about that because I'm negated. So that's fine. I'll save my negate for next turn. Now I have Nadir Servant. Interesting to know is I send the Winged Pegasus because this card says if another card I control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card's on the field, banish this card, target a card my opponent controls, shuffle into a deck. I think that's very good to play versus the Sky Strikers because I could have sent a multitude of other cards that's good in the graveyard. If anything, I could have just drew a card with this Garura, but I chose to do that, so just letting you know. And here I make a big blunder. I accidentally had my thing on off, so when I normal summoned Ecclesia, I said no or something. So I further now got 1 card less. I should have a Dogmatica card. Dogmatica Punishment, Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis, or whatever that guy's called. I could have just got another Dogmatica card there, but I messed that up. Anyways, the True Sun God activating. I choose Guardian Slime. Remember, Guardian Slime is very good. When I take damage, I get the special summon Guardian Slime. I'm not getting, I could have, if I wanted to, get Sphere Mode, the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode. Remember, but this is all about the Guardian Slime, baby. And here in this matchup, I choose the Guardian Slime because guess what? That Guardian Slime does a lot. Now he's going to try to take over my thing. Here's another blunder by me. Now remember, I'm still using this deck relatively new. I didn't realize that he did not have, I thought, since he added so many cards to the deck, that he had 3 cards and he was going to take control of this. This card takes control if he has 3 more spells. So I'm going to shuffle this back in the deck. This would have just negated my card. I thought he was going to take control of it. So I'm going to shuffle my guy back in the deck for no reason. And I lose a card there. I'm even making big blunders here. What a bad thing about me. And now he gets rid of my Winged Pegasus. Remember, I was saving that for a rainy day too. So now this guy's going and he's chugging along. He has 3 cards now, so he's going to get Mobilize is going to come into really, really good effect. And he's going to further get ahead with Mobilize here. And this Mecha multi-roll lets him get cards too at the end of the turn. Very, very interesting. So Kagari, remember, she is now unlimited, I believe. You can have unlimited Kagaris. She is deadly. Deadly, deadly, deadly. And he's going to get this Sky Striker maneuver, which is going to destroy one of my face-up monsters. And then it's going to destroy my spells. And now he's choosing to get the Mecha Anchor again. And I'm looking like I'm in trouble here. He's going for the OTK. Now, what he doesn't realize, I don't think, is he doesn't remember. I chose Guardian Slime. Guardian Slime here is here to protect me. That's why I chose the Guardian Slime, because I know Sky Strikers can go into Access Code Talker. I know he can go into all these different OTK lines, and he can't attack, by the way. He just now realized, I don't know if you saw that, he was sitting there for about 25 seconds, and just now realized he couldn't attack me anyways because I had the True Sun God out on the field, which again, remembers, monsters cannot attack the turn they're special summoned. I thought he was going to destroy it with Access Code Talker, and I was going to special summon this Guardian Slime, but misplays on both sides, and this happens in Masters. This is a Masters game, by the way. You would think it's a bronze, but the way we're playing, look at that. Misplays on both sides. And here he goes. This is what I was talking about, where the mecha gets to get all these cards. And this is the advantage, the grind game that he has. What's my grind game? Again, I have this card here, Maxi. That's exactly why I went with this Alpha Master Beast. Now, my grind game is I can get Nadir Servant with Thrust. I also have the Adventure Engine still going. I get to do some cool stuff here. I'm using Alpha Master of Beast to bring stuff back to the hand. But he's going to negate me, not let me do that. I do have Nadir Servant. Now I'm going to send Entis. Entis lets me pop a card. In hindsight, the card I chose was this random card here. He's going to Call by the Grave. My dog, my Ecclesia. Now, if I probably targeted this multi-roll, he would have probably used Call by the Grave on Entis. So either way, I wasn't getting much value out of it. And now he's going to block me from getting more cards with my Dogmatica Ecclesia, because now this time I was going to make sure I leave my thing on off. I was going to make sure I get some Dogmatica cards. So I'm just going to end my turn, because remember, I do have the True Sun God out, and I still have Guardian Slime to protect me. And now I have an Alpha Master of Beasts. So my grind game is going too. But now here he goes. He's going to destroy this. Now he can destroy a card. Now he realized that True Sun God was the threat. And this is what I'm talking about. Now he can do his whole linkage plays. And now he can go for the OTK again. This time, he's not going to fall for my tricks. Or will he? Look at him with his kind of go second cards here. Revealing Triple Tactics Thrust. Because I guess he likes to thrust a lot. I don't think I run that many thrusts in my deck. But maybe I run two, but dang, his thrusts are there. He goes into Camilla. Interestingly enough, goes into the battle phase there, attacks me. And now that triggers Guardian Slime. Guardian Slime, of course, lets me set it. And now he's going to take over my Guardian Slime. Oh, boy. That's actually... Maybe he was baiting me. Maybe he didn't forget about my Guardian Slime. Now he gets to go for Kagari here. My Guardian Slime's effects gets negated. And I'm in trouble. Because now he's going for the OTK again. He's got a second Mobilize there. Hitting me there. But I guess maybe because all of the grind stuff, he's probably running out of cards to... Maybe he was running out of extra deck cards. He's got still a good amount, it looks like, in there. And there he goes, setting up again against me. All of these deadly cards. 7. He's still got 7 extra deck. Now, here's something Guardian Slime can do. Great draw off the top of the deck. Guardian Slime can evolve himself into the Egyptian God Slime. And when Guardian Slime goes to the graveyard, I get to add a card back. And I wanted to add the True Sun God there again. Because remember, that card was great. But Ash Blossom preventing me from doing that. Because again, he's got a good thing. But here we go. I have Rite of Erismir. And I also now have... I still have that Faithful Engine. Here comes the Wandering Griffin Rider back. I never get to get my Ecclesia cards. Because I'm choosing this. I know I'm going to need that Guardian Slime later. He's going to... Oh, here's a big thing. Look at that. I don't know if you saw that. Oh my gosh. So, he used his Effect Veiler. I know he wanted to use Effect Veiler on my Wandering Griffin Rider, but he couldn't because the Egyptian God Slime has a hidden effect. The secret effect is your opponent's monsters cannot target for attacks and opponent cannot target with card effects any monsters you control except Egyptian God Slime. So when he tried to use Effect Veiler, he was going to use it on my Griffin Rider, he had to use it on my Egyptian God Slime. That's the power of the Pine Saw, baby. And here we go. He's now going to use this because it's negated, so now he can target the Griffin Rider. And you know what I say to that? I say, sure. We're in a grind game here. And he's going to send that to the graveyard, get his Kagari. Kagari's probably going to get back his big old... Oh, a linkage here, actually. Because, again, he's losing a lot of cards to the Banish Zone. Because even though multi-roll... When it brings cards back for the grind game, they're banished after the second use. So I'm already went through 2 of his anchors, which is probably all his anchors, and 2 of his mobilizes. So here comes Ray coming back to do whatever he wants. I'll have my normal monster take care of that because he doesn't want to. He's low on extra deck monsters. I still have my negate there. This is what I'm calling a grind game, baby. Now, remember, he's got to target a card, but he can't target... If he's going to target a card to attack me, he's going to have to target the Egyptian God Slime. Remember, because you're forced to target the Egyptian God Slime. So now he's going to use this card to send it to the graveyard, and I say no to that. I want to get that out of here. Simultaneously, he's been getting too much advantage with this card, so I want to destroy that, because that card, he's just been generating way too advantage with that. going to the battle phase, I'll take it, because remember, when I take damage, I get to summon my Egyptian God Slime. Remember, and I'll take all of that. I get my God Slime back anyways. Draw a card here, another Faithful Adventure. I don't really need that. I'll send that Egyptian God Slime to the graveyard to make an Egyptian God Slime. I mean, I'll send the Guardian Slime to get an Egyptian God Slime. Now he's like, he's had enough of this. He's trying to use my own medicine against me because, you know, my deck is so good. He needs to start copying my deck now because that's how good my deck is. He's starting to use my cards against me because his deck is not built to last. I'm like, isn't that like what brand built to last? Something's built to last. Ford, built to last. I'm not sponsored by them at all. But what I am sponsored by is probably giving people a butt whooping, because I'm giving him a butt whooping. He used my own card against me, which was pretty cute. But now I get to send out the True Sun God again, get another Guardian Slime, baby. I'm more built to last than you. And remember, this is a grind game, and this is the power of using these kind of decks that I chose for. Oh, he gets to destroy a card. He gets to destroy my Egyptian God Slime, but that's all he's got. Remember, he went through his whole deck. He couldn't grind like I could. And who am I getting back for the 5th time? I've seen Griffin My Rider more times in my life than I've seen, like, Rugrats when I was a kid. I used to watch that show all the time. And now, the only person that's becoming a rat is me. Because, again, he's trying to negate my thing, but he has to choose Guardian Slime because he keeps forgetting. And now you just turned on my triple text talent, and I'm going to draw 2 more cards. Getting Ultimate Slayer, too, and Called by the Grave. Great cards to continue this grind game. And guess who's grinding it out more? I feel like I'm in the club with all this grinding I'm doing because nobody can grind more than me. And I went through my whole deck. I'm like, sure, now I'll get Winged Dragon of Ra, I guess, because I'm just gonna mill my deck because now I'm just gonna beat you. And that's how my deck can outgrind other decks, especially Sky Strikers, which is made to grind. And by the way, remember, I made a bunch of critical errors with Ecclesia early. I targeted some other cards too that I messed up on. Maybe I should have took out his multi-roll sooner. And he made mistakes too, mistakes on both sides, because he was not reading these cards. This is why I like to play decks that are so unfamiliar against meta too, because they have to read, and people don't like to read in Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's what makes it so fun, defeating people with wacky decks. They can't compete. Now, those replays were crazy, but one thing that's really crazy also is the price of that engine I'm showing you. The Slime Gods are UR, and I'm sorry, the True Sun God is UR, and so is Sphere Mode. The Slime God is not a URs, but that's pretty expensive. So what are some cheaper alternatives if you're looking to fight Tenpai or something like that? I'm playing around with it. I'm trying to figure it out and trying to get this video out a little bit faster, so I didn't get to do a lot of research. But these cards right here I found are pretty good. They're not URs. One of them here is an SR, and the rest I think are Rs or lower. Very, very interesting. Unending Nightmare here. This is just good for targeting face up, paying 1,000 life points, target a face up spell and trap, destroy it. Why this is good is because against Tenpai, you can destroy their field spell, and now their cards are affected. And you could do it once per chain, so even if they put another one, like, you could just keep popping it. Great, great, great. Awesome card against that. Same thing against Yubel. They keep setting that one card that lets them pop their Yubel cards to special summon more Yubel cards and stuff like that. Well, you could just pop it as it does that. Or if they do the summoning circles, very, very good. Same thing, Snake-Eye. They try to get their field spell out. You could pop that. You could pop the card that if it's set by Diabell Star, you could just pop it. Very, very good. Very interesting. Also, let me talk about Fire Prison. The only thing that's good about Fire Prison is right here, this one line that says only Link monsters can attack, basically. Because again, see, look at they flood the text, so you can't see a lot of things. Apply the following: monsters cannot attack except Link monsters. See, it was in my face. And then Sun About Cybers, whatever. Again, it's got that same True Sun God effect. Only Link monsters can attack, though. And some Tenpai decks do run the Link ladder, so you do have to worry about that. So that's why it's not the best counter, but it is very interesting, and it will stun them as far as in their first phase, especially if they're not raiding too. And how about Link Belt Wall Dragon, though? Here's very interesting. Now, I said they do run a bit of Link sometimes, but watch how this card counters it. This card can't be normal summon or set, but it's special summoned by its own effect when you link summon, you can just special summon this card from your hand. It doesn't even need to be to a place that is pointed to, like some things are. You special summon this card from your hand and place 2 counters on it. Then, if a monster is link summoned, you remove 2 of these counters from this card, or all of them if less than 2. So what that means is a little confusing, but so it's got 2 counters. Whenever you link summon, you remove 2 of them. So if you are able to link summon one more time after you link summon once, it'll have 0 counters. And why is that important? Because once per turn, during each of the standby phase, you'll add a counter to the card, but no monster can be link summoned unless this card has at least as many of these counters as the monster's link rating. Like, what does that even mean? Oh, and monsters cannot attack except link monsters. So what that means is if this card has 0 counters on it, you can summon link 0. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even summon link monsters. If it's got 1 counter on it, you can only summon link 1 monsters. If it's got 2 counters, you can summon a link 2 monster. So even if your opponent is trying to get to like an SP Little Knight and is trying to make it, that's a link 2. It will only have 2 link counters on it if you don't link summon again. So if you're able to link one more time, now you prevent cards like Tenpai, cards like Yubel from even able to attacking with their monsters. They're going to have to do something else. They're going to have to get rid of that card. Very, very interesting. These are just some budget options. I'm just saying because everybody's trying to get me, Jesse, we need to think of ways to stop Tenpai. And these are the things I'm coming up with under these quick circumstances as this deck just came out. So this is like breaking, which is why I wish I had more time to develop some more stuff. I'd probably think of something, so stay tuned. But also, how about some meme cards to establish dominance? These are by far absolutely awful cards, but you know what? If you want to establish dominance, go do it. Dragon Capture Jar. We want to just give anybody so much credit when they play this old school, came out in the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Kaiba pack. Change all dragons on the field to defense position. They cannot change their battle position, so Tenpai can't attack. That's all it is for the memes. Don't run it, but it is fun. Same thing with Vengeful Bog Spirit. It's only in here because look at the artwork on this. Beautiful. Some of the people probably who've played this game never even seen this card. Monsters can't attack the turn they're summoned. Simple and efficient, baby. Maybe that's even better than now that I think about it, might even be better than the Fire Prison that I was recommending, because it's just quite plain and simple to the point. Or Toll Hike. Each player must send a card from their hand to the graveyard to declare an attack. Again, these are just memes to establish dominance. Maybe if you have like a crazy side deck and you're playing in TCG and you know you're going against Tenpai and you really want to stunt on them, go ahead. But this is more for your friends, for locals, than some of the other cards I would recommend. But I do want to say this. Let's take a look at the sample decks I was using. So a lot of people, I guarantee you there's going to be people in the comments that saw the replays and are going to be like, decklist. But but they don't even get this far in the video. So if you see someone going decklist, what's the decklist? It's literally right here. I have 2 decklists for you, in fact. There's a 60 card decklist and a 40 card decklist. Why is this a 60 card decklist? Well, because this is how I test things. This is actually not an optimal decklist. This is how you test decks, right? I put in a bunch of engines, and what works, I keep, and what doesn't, I shred. So I basically cut my 60 card decks down to a 40. That's the eventual goal. I try to see what works and what doesn't. And so what I noticed was, let me go on to my next deck list. This is how it evolved. I got it to a 45. So wait, let me back it up and just tell you what didn't work and why I didn't like it. So for this deck list right here, right? I actually started to cut the Dogmatica engine, because as you saw in the replays, I didn't even need the Dogmatica engine that went through. I forgot to use it one time. I put my thing on off. I didn't use it, and I never needed the Dogmatica engine, so took that out. Evenly Matched was actually conflicting with some of my cards, so I kind of brought it down to 1 since this is a go second deck. So I cut down my Evenly Matches just so I could search maybe one with Thrust. But I'm even considered just dumping that all together, right? So I'm still in that testing phase with that. I loved Super Poly, so that was good. But I wasn't really feeling the Ultimate Slayer part of it. So you know what? I'm taking the Ultimate Slayer part out of the deck, which is what I did. And this is how you got to evaluate. Same thing with Pankratops and Alpha Master of Beasts. Alpha worked great with Sphere mode, but that came up not that often. But I still like the Alpha, so I put that down to 2. And Pankratops I'm still keeping down to 1, right? Because I'm gonna shred some things. And again, I got rid of the Nadir Servant engine. And let's see how it looks now. I'm able to get it down to 45 cards. Remember, this is still testing. Tenpai just came out, so I'm doing a lot of testing. This video is still breaking news, right? I'm still we're trying to get the counters to Tenpai here. And I got it down to, look, I got one of these. I kept the Diabell Star engine. I thought that was very good. That's very strong, because that gives me a negate again, so I'm consider cutting that. Evenly matched. I'm considered cutting the Biru because, again, Tenpai is not really affected. Even Yubel and Snake-Eyes can play around it to some extent. It was just something good to grab off of Maxi, especially if I was playing against the tier decks. But since tier recently got hit, I think I could cut the Nibiru. These are all kind of questions we need to ask ourselves too when we're playing. So it's good. I really want you to it's good to see that, look, I don't even have a complete deck yet. And I'm going against Masters players, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm having success, even though I'm not fully optimized yet. These Tenpai decks, Snake-Eye decks, are fully optimized. And there's 2 kinds of players, really, in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have your innovators, and you have your people that will just play meta. See, I'm in the innovator category. I always like trying to figure out new things, and then the players, like the hardcores, they just keep playing the same deck over and over and over, and that's how they refine. And we work together too in a symbiotic relationship to figure out what works, what doesn't. So I'm really trying to be one of those players that right now I'm changing from the the innovator, because I need to find something to work for us for these Tenpais. And this slime engine has just been really good lately. Oh my gosh, this slime engine, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to try putting it with other engines. I haven't tried it. Again, remember how I was mentioning Horus? That's another great thing for it to go with. But take a look at these here, too. The Super Poly right here, adding in this Yubel was just a chef's kiss. I went against a Yubel player that you didn't see in the replays because I don't have time to just stuff everything. I ended up just Super Polying, went right into that, and he GG'd out after that. It was pretty funny. So it wasn't really a good replay worth showing. But that's another thing, too. I had a lot of replays that they just ended when they stopped and thought for like 30 to 40 seconds and realized that they couldn't attack. They leave out of shame, and it's pretty funny. So a lot of these are just all Super Poly cards. Maybe I'm considering adding another SP Little Knight, because she does come up. And yeah, so this is where I'm at. By the way, if you like videos like this, some more videos like this, please like and subscribe. Join the Discord as we figure out ways to counter. Right now, the hot topic is Tenpai, but as we figure out more ways to counter meta, especially with wacky and not that much meta stuff, and that's what it's all about. That's what this game is. That's how I like to play it. I dislike with a passion meta slaves that are like, oh yeah, I'm only gonna play meta, baby, like, and just don't think for themselves. I love beating them with the dumb stuff like this, because when I do, it gives me so much satisfaction. Anyways, hope to see you guys in the Discord. Like and subscribe this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. He's tapping out like a wrestler, like, oh, I give up.